everybody, welcome back to James Plays Obduction. We are here in Marais, and we've got a puzzle in front of us that we discovered at the end of the last video. So, our task for right now is we've got these swapping machines, 3 of them here, and we've got the Hunrath area all in here, all this red rock. And over in Hunrath, we've got all the Marais stuff. Now, what we need to do is there is a machine that is aligned with this side that lets us create bridges. We need it back here, and then we need to rotate everything so that it's over here so we can create a bridge out this way. Also, I'm wondering if there's a way to set it up for here. Probably not, because we do have the machine over there. Let's not worry about that too much. But yeah, we need to figure out what we're swapping in order to get the machine back here and then rotate it around to the other side and actually be able to get in to this dome and access it. Because as you see right now, not so good. What I think would be great would be we have all 3 sections here for Hunrath. So if we use the middle one, then we're swapping all of the Marais pieces back into Marais. And that might be exactly what we need. But the problem is, how do you get back to Marais? There's no out of this area that I am aware of. So that don't work so good. Also, to be aware, we have this side that we want to build a bridge. Maybe this would be our way out of these caves. But for right now, seems like all we could really do that would be helpful is to swap this one. For now. Now, I think this is not going to work. I'm pretty positive we have not solved the puzzle, because we are now bringing back the piece that is going to block us. And I'm just going to confirm that, even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm right. And that's why we checked to confirm, because I was very wrong. So, yeah. Never ever make assumptions. Now, we can get over here, doing the things that I very clearly know that I'm doing. That's not the whole way, right? Okay, no, we missed a spot. So I'm just doing this randomly, and I do wonder if there is a consistent thing that I should be, catching on to. That would... I could just replicate over and over again, you know? But so far, just screwing around is working surprisingly well. Okay, so we have this. Another swapping machine. What I'm gonna do before we do that, is I don't want to forget about this. This is now on the side that we want it. And we should be able to build a bridge with this and see what that does for us. Things are going pretty good. Fingers crossed here. Sometimes I get a little bit of criticism about the way that I'm playing one or all of these games, that I, maybe should be a little more inquisitive and mess around with things immediately, or whatever the case may be. But I just, you can have that opinion, and if I disagree with that opinion, it doesn't mean that I'm, like, trying to shoot you down or anything, or get overly defensive. I try to explain my thought processes on why I do the things I do, and hope it makes some sort of sense. But the bottom line is we're making progress. We're still going. Sometimes a little more slowly, but the momentum is always moving forward. And I just want you guys to trust the process, even though I know I can frustrate you guys sometimes, or a lot of the times. I can get the same way, so I'm not really trying to get on anybody's case. I watch people play games that I know, and I can be screaming in my own head, like, get there faster, figure it out, come on, man, you got this, and they don't got this. So I know how that can feel, and I'm a little bit confused. I think I know where this is, but I could be wrong. I might be wrong. Yeah, I mean, I can see the bar on the other side, so I thought that might be... Well, let me just bring up the map. How about that? We've got a map I can show you instead of just playing by myself in my own head here. Should be here, yeah. So we have this area right here, and there is two doors. There's one higher up and one lower, and one of those is locked. I believe it was the lower one. And there was an area beyond that. I was thinking right now we're in the area beyond that, and that locked door was we're on the other side of it to unlock it. Clearly that's wrong. So where the hell are we exactly? I don't know if it's even safe to guess. We'll just leave that as one of those mysteries for now. And the answer will come eventually. So everything is how I want it. I think we'll just stick to using this to go back. And now we'll see what that other swap machine takes us to. Now, so far, I've only had to use the exploration guide technically twice. And the first time, it revealed that there was a note that I tried to look at, and the game said no, so I assumed, okay, that's not a note. And then it turns out it was. I just needed to be closer to it for the game to actually let me look at it. And then the next time I used the guide was just to confirm to myself that we were done doing things in one area and we could or should move on to another area. Alright, that's interesting. Well, it doesn't make sense to use that again right now. Let us, I guess, use this again. And see what that did, if anything, for us. But yeah, I'm just saying, I haven't really gotten stuck, where I've had to just kind of throw my hands up in the air and say, alright, guide me to what I need to do. Oh. Am I... Hold on. No, this is right. I'm just really confused at what we're doing. So, I mean, obviously we have that sphere of the red rock from Hunrath. But the bigger, larger portion, I really couldn't explain. What the hell? And I still can't explain what the hell. We're just gonna do this again. Just keep doing the same thing over and over until we get different results, right? But that area was blocked off. It was boarded up. We couldn't go any farther. We swapped that out. And it was apparently just a small chunk. And it had Murray technology with it, or something. Like, it gets really confusing what's going on here with all the overlap and everything. Yeah, so this is small. And then there must be one just beyond here. So when we swap this, we're able to get to that one. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I need to keep doing this over and over until it starts making sense. That's my strategy. What have I done? Yeah, see, smaller sphere, bigger sphere. Just to double check, yeah. Okay, let's think about this for a moment. I think, yeah, that my objective would be to create a path that goes through beyond. So, I just don't know how I'm supposed to do that. I know I'm going about this in a not overly constructive way, but what else am I to be doing at the moment? We'll get there, though. We always do. 6 games under my belt, working on the 7th one. I want to say we are halfway through this, if not farther. So, don't worry. It'll all come together. Like so. So maybe it wasn't in Hunrat that we had to worry about getting a through path at all. So, like, let's pretend we're in Hunrath and we're going through this area here, and then it would be just beyond here that the thing was, you know, caved in, boarded up, as opposed to it being within the confines of the swaps, the sphere of the swap. So we did a thing. Now we've gone and gotten our way through that. Call button for an elevator and an elevator, but something beyond the elevator. Looks to be a little segmented, with a slight curve to it, almost as if this section right here is going to get swapped out. So... okay. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hello. Is this on the map at all? Huh. I believe this was the elevator, and it took us down. This brings us to the dead end. This brings us over here to the sphere that we were swapping. This is where that red beam was, keeping up the force field. This is what we just passed through, and now we're here. So it looks like there's another dead end here. Maybe there's something to find there, though. We have this, which touches the edge, and it looks like it might bring us over here. And then we got this, which would bring us over here to another dead end, presumably. And then we also have this path, which brings us to a thing. And it looks like we may be able to come over here and make a bridge. It also looks like we may be able to follow this to get over here and get to the sign-in area, and then maybe make that bridge so that we could have a nice little shortcut back to the start, and of course a path to the tree. And it all starts with this. Well, we went around like that and we hit a dead end there. Now, let's say we're rotating things. I can't exactly see. I think that's our way out over there. A way out over there. And... hold on. Back to the map. Yeah, we should be looking for 3... and I can only account for 2. Possibly because of the angle I'm at, but... One, two, and I think 3 is over here. That touches the wall, yeah. Okay, so they're, yeah. And then this was our entrance below us. Okay, so that side is rotating the whole thing. What does this side do? Also rotates the whole thing. Just in the opposite direction, eh? A little French for you. I need to rotate the circles, though. And... how does one do such a thing? I don't know. Is there a further down? There is. Okay. Okay. That's something. Oh, okay. It shuts down when I get out of range, but I mean, it's pretty safe to say what we're looking at here. I may need to draw something for my own sake. But it would seem that we're swapping and then possibly going to do some rotating over here. Well, that's not what you eat your food with out of your plate, you silly. Okay, so this is not a loop. And there's nothing up here. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss, you know, a book or something like that. Ah, hello, other side. Okay. We know what all this looks like then. Yeah, once I saw this over here, I was like, okay, yeah, it's all coming together. So, over the other way. Think I can see what this is all about. And then this should turn it the other way. All right. And since there's entryways on all four sides, we don't have to worry about locking ourselves out. Oh, we got ourselves a little load. Well, not so little load. That's interesting. This, oh, okay. Well, there we go. Opening things up, getting everything connected. Looking pretty good. So it's like now we've loaded up Hunrath. And that's why that was such a big load there. Whereas if we don't go too far, then it just has to kind of load this little area that we would be playing around in. Well, actually, let's not do that just yet. Let me stay right here, and we'll take a look at our photo and see what we can determine. We are here. There is this. And what we're going to want to do is... If we leave this like that, and then we're pathing through around here, we could rotate this counterclockwise once. Actually, twice, I think. Wait. I'm trying to figure out, like, how to go boom, boom. And I'm not sure if that would actually line up. If we're talking about 4... And we are talking about 4, right? We're talking about rotating it 90 degrees at a time. Let me check that again. Okay. So we've got the 4 sides. Yeah, it should be rotating 90 degrees. So we should be having a door right here. Okay, yeah. Just making sure. I've already established at the beginning of this video that it pays to make sure. So I'm trying to visualize how you would turn this so that it would line up, and I'm not actually seeing that. Because if this turns at 90-degree angles, then it's going to be here, then it's going to be here, not at an angle. So that doesn't actually work for us. But what does work, then? Because you have this section here. And this you could rotate and go down to nothing. Or you can rotate it and go up that way. But how do you pass through here? That is the mystery. I am also wondering if I should be going back to Murray right now through another swap device and see what this section looks like. I think I will do that. Now, to get over to this, you would rotate this 90 degrees clockwise. And then that side's going nowhere, so it goes like that to nothing. If you rotate it so it lines up over here, then that's going to nothing as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good for me to go take a look at how things are right now in Murray. Okay, so we used the swapping device that's part of the larger chamber with the 3 of them, so that we didn't disturb our way through here. And then we're just gonna call the elevator. And that is totally blocked off at the moment, but it does look like... So there we go. I'm going to have to... try to draw a big... I don't even know what to draw. I mean, drawing this as is doesn't really help, but I can try to label each piece and use that. So I would identify this as the first segment, and treating this like a compass, this is south. So 1 south. A is the 90-degree shape, and B is just a long straight. So then over here, I would say is 2 east, and the A variant is like that with the, little crook there. And then 3 north. Piece A is another 90-degree, but in the opposite direction. And then 4 west. The A is like that. Like a 45-degree crook. Like that, just... Okay. So I could then... Let me see. I think it's safe to assume, but we don't want to make our assumptions, that there should be a swap device down here for this piece as well, and there is. So we could rotate that to make it go straight. So then we would be in here. And then we would need this to be a different piece too. That would let us out over there. Is that what we want for starters, though, is the question. So we would be coming out over here. And I feel like that we want to be our end, because that would take us this way, and here, and I think I want to just go around. So I want to get here first to the wall. So let me see what that would look like. We have... I can't... I wish I could see. I wish I could see with my special eyes. But I can't. Because I can see a way out there. And I can see a way out here, but I can't see the way out over here. I can only make an assumption, and I don't like that. In fact, there's a case to be made that there isn't a thing out this way, because I should be able to see lines that line up with this, you know? It's not working. So how the hell am I supposed to get to that bridge? So let's skip that for now. And aim for this one. And to do that, we're gonna switch this back and keep it in the current incarnation, so it goes over here. We want to see what this one changes to. So... Oh, hey. Okay, yeah, no, I just put that together. Okay. There are only 3 exits, but the whole thing rotates, so I would want... like something like this? Or one more. So I could swap this. Oh, we're gonna make a big problem for ourselves. Oh, yeah, Oh, boy. Yeah, no, I just realized that this is very horrible. Right now, we're looking at 3NA. And we're going to swap that with 1SB. We are going to have to do a whole lot of note-keeping to keep ourselves in order here. And there's still 3 pieces that we don't know what we're looking at yet. So I think my best course of action is going to be documenting what the other 3 pieces are. So I'm going to do that, and then I will get back to you. Okay? I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. And wait, no, okay, just one last thought. Here I was just saying, yeah, we're going to swap this with this. How do I get to the other 3? I'm going to have to be here to swap whatever's here with the other variant. If there is, in fact, more variants, or it's just this one piece. Are there 5 or are there 8? Okay, wait, hold on. I don't... Okay. Hold on. Just hold on. Okay, that should confirm what I already knew. That whatever piece is in this position, we use the swapping device and we get the piece that was down there in the caves. Currently, it's this straight piece. So we're dealing with 5 pieces. Maybe 8, but to get to these other ones is not an option currently. So we're dealing with 5. So, if I want to get over in this direction, first off, we need this to be rotated in a way that we have a path in below us and then a path out to that side. So it's either this configuration or rotating it one more. So we could take this and rotate it as is, and that brings us over here. And then we would need a piece that connects these two, and that is not an option. We got this here where we have a path under us. And we want a straight line to there. But then we also want a straight line to there, and we don't have 2 of those. Okay, so this configuration, no way out over there. We rotate it once. No way in. I wonder... Okay, I think I see something. Back to the photos. So, I think what we might need to do is create a loop. So we go over here, and then we create this bridge. And then we can get through, and and we could then mess with this maze, and then backtrack around, so this is our entry point, and that's our exit point. I think that is quite possible. So we're back to looking at this path as our first one. You know, it's also very interesting. Okay, so that does stay over there. So if we come in here, what piece did we swap? We swapped to east. That's not gonna work. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm trying to think about what we've got here. This piece, if we rotate that 180 degrees, would fit in here. And if we rotate that one, that goes there. So that all works out nicely. This we could rotate like that. And so we would want the straight piece there. That gives us a path. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate this 2 times to bring this back here. And we're going to swap back the piece that was originally here, which is the other, this one, just in the opposite direction. So we'll have that here, and then we'll have the straight line back over in the other place. And then we're going to rotate this thing twice and swap this piece out for the straight line. Then this piece will be in Hunrath, and we will rotate okay, just one thing at a time, all right? Now, one thing that I'm pretty sure I know is that we are going to want this piece to be rotated. So we're turning it 90 degrees so that it is prepped for the next swap. We'll go around. Okay. So we have that piece prepped. We are now going to rotate this twice. And swap in that straight line that's going to go like that. Okay? That's the next step. I lied. The next step is to take a quick marking of how this is positioned, because we are going to need to rotate that. Okay, now it's time to do our swap. Okay, so we have our 45-degree piece over there in Hunrath. It will eventually need to find its way into this spot in place of this one, because it goes in the other direction, and it'll line up with that. But before we do that, and worry about the rotation of that, we want to turn this 90 degrees counterclockwise. And we also want to turn this 180 degrees. So we'll start with this and rotate this twice in the other place and then swap it back. So now that is how we want it. And this one, I said we were turning once counterclockwise. And that will give us this connection here. Okay, so that's all good. Now we just need this. And we want that with the angle and like that, which it's already set as. So we don't need to worry about rotating. We just need to swap. Now, hopefully everything is in the proper place. We just need to rotate it so that we can get in and out of it. This video for you guys will be just a little bit under an hour. And for me, the actual recording process, I'm currently a little over an hour. So it's not like this is taking up a lot of time. Let's say a very generous estimate would be 10 minutes of doing this thing. It's just the tedium of having to go back and forth with all the swapping business that it makes it feel more dragged out and less fun than I wish it was. And I'm gonna take a guess and say that for people that played this game, you weren't too fond of doing this. Would I be correct? And we're not done yet either, so let's go up here and see what there is to see. Yeah, we'll go all the way to the top first. Get another viewpoint of that. Don't think there's anything on the other side, but always good to be thorough. Those mushrooms could be the key to everything. You never know. It's a cyan game. They've done plenty of weird stuff. Joseph? No. Not yet, at least. We are powering something up. Okay, we'll leave that. Well, actually, I think pushing the button again. Okay, it doesn't do anything. We have primed it. We can't undo that now. And nothing else down here. So now we go up. What are we looking at? Oh. Okay. Okay. I thought that's just it. That's the end of the game. Okay. So now I think we know what those controls do down there. We gotta open up the path for this thing to take us. And I can see two. Don't know if there's more. Come around here and we build ourselves a bridge. Same way as always, just use the same code every time. And then we just need to... Oh, no, whoops. There we go. To some extent, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm always doing, like, at least one thing the same way over and over. Okay, so now we have a path over to that device where we don't need the maze to get back over there. But now, what we're going to want to do, and we'll save this for next time, is this will now be our entry point, and we want to get over here. And actually, that is really... that's a real quick thing that we can do. Okay, so we want to rotate this 90 degrees clockwise, and that will line us up to get over to the side. Hi. Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. James, you completed a path. You can go in one way, you can go out the other. You just rotated the entire thing. You should be able to see that by doing so, I could just go down the elevator and walk right in and then go over to the wall of the dome, or I could rotate it like this and go in reverse across the bridge we just made and go back in from there and come out on that other end over there to see what's going on. Why would you possibly think you need to use the swap devices and change the individual segments any further? Well, you see, I was cursed by a witch. An evil witch. And now, I bet you feel stupid, don't you? You never know who has been cursed by a witch. I want to say that I got through all this stuff with minimal effort. So we did this last time, and that shut the gate down. Okay. How do we shut the other gate down? Must be from another panel that is somewhere else. Unless... I must be putting in, like, invalid numbers or something like that. Yeah, I don't think this panel will affect the other gate. But it does affect this one, and we've got it open. Alright. Anyway, as I was saying, I think I managed to get this maze stuff sorted out with minimal frustration. But I would still complain about the back and forth and the loading and stuff. And I'm just thinking about somebody who had a real tough time with all of this, and just how much worse it would be for them to do, you know? But now I think I have that set up correctly, that we can go through and around and touch the wall and see what that gets us. And then we can call it an episode, and I think that is all we need to do with this maze. Let me just double check my photo. This does bother me a little bit, that it kind of points off like that. Well, we'll see. I think over here is actually going to be where the other panel is. Let's see if I'm right. So we go through. And touch the wall. Brings us... Oh. Yeah. I disoriented myself by walking backwards into it. Good job, me. So this will bring us through this path, and then we'll touch the wall at the other end. Look for things. And we come out. And here's another panel, and it's closer to that gate. And I guess we just sever all the connections, and that severs the gate. Okay. So still no third or more gates in sight. Hopefully that means we did everything. Okay. Well. Another good episode where things got done. Solved puzzles without being too confused about them. If just maybe a little bit of overthinking and a little bit of having to sort out the execution. And it ended up being a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. You know, hence the overthinking. So, yeah, we did good today. All of us. You too. You did really good and great and wonderful. And I hope you'll come back for the next episode where we continue to do great, wonderful things together. And I love ya. Mwah. Bye-bye.